We're just talking about the different bit of transfer news out of Europe, and this is absolutely one of them. Emma Hayes has Catarina Macario in her sights. It's been reported already that it is subject to a medical evaluation.
Yep.
So that's about as close as you can get to sort of saying, hey, this is going to be my next club. You have your current club coach in Pastor at Lyon saying she's also confirming that she's not going to be back. There's just a lot already here that you can pluck from and say Macario is on the move to Chelsea. And but again, that's the caliber of player this is, that you want to continue to build with this player, even as she is nearing her return from an ACL. And I think if you're a Chelsea fan, you absolutely have to be excited about that. You have to be hyped for it. I mean, look, they've got Sam Kerr on a contract till at least 2024. Maybe they've got one more crack maybe at the Champions League if Sam Kerr decides to make a different decision with her career. You want to try to build this team up as much as you can.
Lucy's saying it right. Macario has a 10, Sam Kerr is a 9. That's ridiculous. I know, Lucy. As soon as the transfer rumor about Macario going to Chelsea, everyone was like, jaw dropped. This is going to be an unstoppable front line.
I can't wait to see it. I would love to see it, and I can't wait to see it. And it sounds like we're going to see it. The Blues kind of making sure that they're stacking themselves up and are in a good position to stay dominant, not just in Women's Super League, but hopefully get over that hump in Champions League, because there's news out of Paris. Le Parisien has reported that Chelsea will sign Canadian and PSG fullback Ashley Lawrence. And not only are they going to sign her, they're going to sign her to a multi-year deal. So they're just like going out there and picking up players and making these moves. You love to see it. I love to see it because I'm a Chelsea fan. So I'm like, yes, Emma Hayes, go out there, get these players. I mean, again, shout out to Lucy, who's referencing like how we could see Kerr and Macario play. But I mean, the idea of seeing two Canadians on a back line for Chelsea is very exciting to me with Buchanan at this point, and now possibly Lawrence as well. So I'm very excited about all the transfer rumors.
They're getting stacked from tip to tail. Chelsea's stacked.
Absolutely. And they've got some things to win. It's coming down to the final match day in Women's Super League, just like we all thought it would. Let's take a look at the top 4 in the Women's Super League table. If you're joining us live on YouTube, we've got great graphics for you to take a look at. Shout out to our social team. Weekend 21 in Women's Super League, Chelsea number 1 with 55 points. Man United just behind them with 53 points at number 2. Arsenal number 3 with 47 points, and Man City with 44 points. So not as close when it comes to the 3 and 4 on the outside looking in, but it's coming down to the last match with 2 points separating Chelsea and United. Champions League spots on the line as well. Man City looking like they might miss out.
I know. Crazy. It's really crazy that City's at the bottom of this. I remember months ago, Sandra, talking about our top 4 teams, and not too much has changed there in terms of our top 4 teams, but I think the order changed a lot. I predicted City much higher in the table heading into the final match week.
Yeah, no, same. And I think with Buddy Shaw and her kind of run of form throughout the season this year, we kind of thought, hey, maybe they'll, kind of rally around this player and make some noise. And they did for a little bit, but just not enough to keep up with what Mark Skinner is doing with Manchester United and Emma Hayes and Chelsea as well. So keep your eyes on the final matches. Look out for them across CBS Sports platforms. You can catch them on Golasso Network and Paramount Plus. So tune in. I mean, you want to be there and watch when the league is won by either Chelsea or Man United. We'll see. Let's keep it in Europe, though, to close out this second segment of our show. We've got some Women's Champions League updates because Wolfsburg and Barcelona will go head-to-head on June 3rd for the Champions League title, but they've got things to wrap up in their leagues, and Wolfsburg have won their 9th consecutive DFB Pokal. They are making history. It's the 10th time in club history that Wolfsburg has won the German Cup. Gotta feel good winning the whole dang thing in the league before you have to take on FC Barcelona in Champions League. And while Barcelona has been on an incredible run this season, they've had a couple hiccups down this final stretch of the league. ahead of their Champions League final. Not only was their undefeated or unbeaten streak snapped by Sevilla in a 1-1 draw, but Barcelona officially picked up a loss, a 2-1 loss, their first league loss in nearly 2 years, a 2-1 loss against Madrid CFF at Estadio Fernando Torres. Silver linings maybe for Barcelona. Alexia Putellas involved in
Yeah.
this game, and she was able to get a goal in this game for Barcelona, but it just the moment of brilliance just wasn't enough to get to scratch out or spearhead a result for the team, and it's their first loss in 64 league matches. So maybe not the way you want to start, head into a Champions League final, but hopefully they try to take some of the positives of their season and kind of dominate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I don't think it's the way you want to end, right? But streaks are meant to be ended.
Yeah, that's true.
And they are. And this has happened to them the last time. They went on this incredible run.
Yeah,
That ended again in June of 2021, and now this one ends again. But you're exactly right.
yeah,
Alexia Putellas getting minutes in this game, and that's fantastic to see. Now is the pressure off a little bit as they head into the Champions League final?
yeah,
Maybe, right? It's
yeah,
no longer like, okay, we've got this giant, or we're sitting in this glass box that no one breathes, no one moves, because we're sitting on this incredible streak and this incredible run.
yeah.
And the fact that it happened, I'm going to say slowly, and then not all at once, with the draw first to Sevilla, and then they get the loss. It was like, okay, we haven't won. We just draw our unbeaten streak now, not our win streak, and then they go ahead and they end up a loss. Yeah, I mean, silver lining for sure. Maybe pressure off now for the Champions League
Maybe,
final. I
yeah.
don't know.
Look, it's
Crazy that they went on for 2 years without losing. Like, are you kidding me?
maybe it is crazy, but it also maybe gets a little stale. Like maybe it does get a little stale. Maybe
It gets a
maybe
little
you're
boring.
maybe you're at a point in all of your dominance where you're like, okay, man, we've already at this point. I mean, in the season, they already clinched,
Yeah,
the
everything.
Liga F title in April.
Yeah.
This is already like a month ago, and they're just like, all right, we've already got the title. Like, what are we're focused on a much bigger prize from this point out. Like, what is this? Let's make sure Alexia gets some minutes, and
Yeah.
let's just go with it. Like, I think that's kind of the response that folks are probably going to look for, and it's probably the response that Barcelona is going to give. I mean, what type of lethal machine wouldn't want to give a false sense of security to
Totally.
their opposition? It's like we're like, it's almost like we're reaching or pulling at a thread that isn't even there. It's like, oh, Barcelona got their first a loss, and it's just like, yeah, it's also their first loss in like 60 plus games, and they
Yeah.
also won the league with 85
years,
points and a goal difference of 108.
They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, it's like they're fine. They've got Amati, they've got Diana Bomati, they've got Carolyn Graham Hanson, they've got Alexia Putellas apparently scoring goals before they head off to the Champions League. So it'll build up to a good match for sure. But congratulations to Wolfsburg and Barcelona for respectively winning their leagues.